in your sitting with God time, in your journal time?
I think because I am so aware of my vulnerableness right now, which is a gift to me, I believe. I want to say, I find myself in a position of being awestruck with the vulnerableness that he's asked me to join him in with this end-stage cancer. Physically, I know that I could die at any moment. But that is a reality that is really actually true for everyone. But the vulnerableness of my physical condition has brought that actuality more on the front burner for me.
You hear people talk about joining your sufferings to Christ, and I think Annette is doing that. And so, in such a powerful way that she has united her sufferings to the cross.
Now, I was going to get into that, but
Sorry.
what would be a natural progression of realizing your vulnerableness? Okay, so in this journey, there has been a lot of pain leading up to the medication that I'm on now to help manage the pain. And there have been...
You're talking about a lot of physical pain.
A lot of physical pain, yeah. So physical pain has been something that I've had to really try to learn how to deal with. And it's not easy to not get angry at God when you're in pain.
I'm going to have you slow down here just a little bit because I think these are key thoughts. Your physical pain is something I have had to deal with.
Mm-hmm. And continue to deal with because I still am in pain. But
Is it, and it's, how did you put that? It's hard.
it's difficult when you are in pain not to be angry at God. So part of my being able to continue is to deal with that. Where are you in this pain, Lord? Where are you? Because you can choose to look at it a lot of different ways. He's punishing you. He's abandoned you. He's this is part of him rectifying your sinfulness, or I deserve this. I know. All of those thoughts. But what is it that God wants me to think about it? How does he want me to look at the pain? And that's part of what this formation process has helped me to deal with, is to first of all, I do have to say that when I started journaling way back, before I knew I had cancer again and before there was any pain involved, because the first time with cancer was not a painful thing for me, other than recuperating from the surgery and the scare of it. There were agonizing thoughts. You wake up and you say, I'm supposed to be dead in a year or two. Oh my gosh, I'm dying of cancer. That's painful. But there wasn't a lot of physical pain that I'm talking about now with the cancer that I'm dealing with now. It's been very painful. And so, pain. There was a quote in here that was just part of the formation process of intercessing, becoming an intercessor, is to be willing to stand in the gap, to be willing to maybe spend some time on the cross with the Lord, to be willing to accept pain or painful events or physical pain. We all suffer, but you can decide how you're going to do that. And so what I felt that the Lord was asking me before he ever allowed me to experience pain with cancer was an invitation first. Annette, can I use you this way? It was almost like he was asking me, if he allowed things to happen in my life, would I give him permission for it? Would it be, could we do this together? almost like he was letting me know that he was interested in me participating in something that would be difficult. And when I was hearing this, it did scare me. And I thought, well, why? And then he was showing me that he needs people who are willing to do this so that he can provide more grace, more ability for people who have not the ability to get through something. So in other words, if I'm willing to participate and I'm saying, yes, I accept this, and I offer it up for other souls, for other people, that somehow the Lord then is able to take that and use it and give graces to somebody else. It could be thousands of people. It could be a couple of really troubled souls. It could be anyone. You have no idea how many people you're going to be affecting. But there is that Christian unity that you begin to be aware of, that you are a part of. And in that Christian faith that we as Christians do share, we are affecting each other by how we say yes to things every day, or how we say no. So that's why that whole salvation conversion thing I think is ongoing, because I think it's a daily choice. So when I felt like the Lord was leading me into this concept that maybe he did want me to suffer, or that there were going to be things up ahead that would totally floor me or scare me, or, you know, that he wanted to let me know that I had a choice. Would you be willing to do this? And I said yes. And he's been asking me every day when I'm upset, I'm angry, or whatever, are you giving me your yes? You know?
Does that help you with meaning?
Yes. It gives meaning to everything. That is the meaning that I think makes it or breaks it for me. It gives purpose to everything. My parents both died of cancer. My father suffered tremendously. And I remember as a 16-year-old girl watching him die, offering things up, naming people in his life. He was trying to offer it up specifically for certain people. And I do that sometimes, and then I think, you know, God even knows better who needs it. I'll offer it up, and I'll bring up the intentions of people, but I've learned to just say, use it for anyone, whoever you see fit, you know, and somehow I feel like he can even make more use of it than me trying to program it to, you know, who I think needs it, you know. Then you get really selfish. You want it for people who you care about. Then you realize, you know, there's that whole thing again. I really don't care about my brothers and sisters. I've got certain people that I want, because then they're going to affect me. You know, it's going to make my life easier if they're going to be healed of this, or they're going to, you know, you start realizing just how selfish
it
the
just
whole
wants to
thing.
creep right back in.
Even offering it up can be a very selfish thing. So even in that selfish way of offering it up, he's asked me, would you just, you know, would you just offer it up and let me decide who gets it, you know?
So you just painted an absolutely beautiful picture of your father.
Yes.
And so young.
Yes, he taught me so much. And I ran from that at the time. I could not accept it. I didn't want to see it. It was painful.
My mother died at 20.
Really...
I ran from it. You do run from it. You find yourself, you run your whole life into it in a circle where you come back to where they were trying to give you something when you were 16. You know, they're trying to give you something.
Yeah. But to see the effects that it had on my family, you know, I mean, every one of my brothers and I have 6 brothers and 1 sister, and every one of them was very much affected by that whole journey that my dad went through with his cancer, and then my mother died not too long after that.
We could write our book together.
Yes,
my dad died when I was 21, and then a month later the next one.
I was 22 when she died, and so yes, so
so when you talk about a spiritual role model, is your